The police?
No, it's just I forgot he was ducking out. Hello, everybody.
I know we went live already. What the
hell? We here.
This is how
we're gonna do a countdown for y'all.
Nerds and geeks, you already know what it is. We are back in full effect. The legendary Saturday nights of the Nerd-O-Roundtable are going across the Spider-Verse. Woo-hoo! Yours truly, King Nerdificent Twala Sharp in the building. I see Dr. Liz from the freeway.
Hi, everyone.
Ryan Twitch Master McBain.
What's poppin', y'all?
Tom is talking Cunningham.
He just should have listened.
The one and only Mo Kelly. Is Mo back in the building?
He is staying spoiler free because he has not seen it yet. So we got to text him when we're done talking about
Are you serious?
Listen, now? The man's busy.
Look, that is
He's
true.
Booked and busy.
That is absolutely true. He needs to get unbooked and unbusy in a quick fast. He is lucky because I had my phone turned off the entire day before seeing it because I know we go in with the spoilers in our private chat. And I said, I don't want to see anything good or bad. And so for those of you watching, just know we're going spoilerific on this bitch. I will say this. That this film is quite possibly the greatest Spider-Man anything ever made. I don't care live action. I don't care animated. This film is every freaking thing to me. I sat in my chair the entire time on the edge of my seat. Every other scene. Oh shit. Oh my God. What? Wait. It was utterly mind-blowing. And I know a lot of people use that term to describe something when it's just that great, but this was that good. This was everything that I think everyone wanted from No Way Home. This is everything that people wanted from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This is everything that you want in a multiversal film. And oh my God, gorgeous, beautiful. That's me. That's me. What say you, Tom?
Well, one of the reviews that has been consistent in a lot of things that I was seeing on about this film is that every frame is a work of art. And that is, I mean, you can literally, there was nothing about this, just the way everything was composed. It is gloriously lush and rich and beautiful. And if, once people get the opportunity to pause on their Ultra HD Blu-ray, they're playing on their PS5s. It's staggering. It is amazing. It is so packed with visual information. And I agree. One of the things that was different in the first movie is that you didn't really have classic sort of representations of Spidey villains. Kingpin is a Spidey villain, but he's not like the main Spidey villain. He's certainly in the universe. And, of course, Dr. Octopus, but you had Doc Ock as a woman, so it wasn't the same. And your Green Goblin was really kind of goblin-y looking and demonic as opposed to being Norman Osborn. And in this one, even though the main villain is not a main canonical Spider-Man villain, they very smartly intertwined it into the first film, and they gave us a classic Spidey villain in the Vulture. So I guess this is the first spoiler. The Vulture is here. And even though Miles doesn't get to mess with him, during that big battle, we're introduced to the first of the new Spider people that are going to undergird the film, which is Jess Drew, a pregnant Black Afro Spider woman portrayed by Issa Rae, and Miguel O'Hara, portrayed by Oscar Isaac, who is basically king of the nerd castle because he's in damn near every fucking franchise that means anything to nerdiness. And he plays Miguel O'Hara, who is, I can't recall seeing Spider-Man 2099 in live action in any real sense. And so he's kind of terrifying. I mean, he's almost the second villain of the show, and that's kind of an interesting twist, but I'll leave it there. What about you, Liz?
I didn't think that you all know how much I love Spider Into the Spider-Verse. I love the soundtrack. I love the framing. And if you remember the marketing of Spider Into the Spider-Verse, it was very like the previews were very, very minimal. So it was like, what is this? Mm-hmm. And so then when you walked in, low expectations because it's Sony, and you went, oh my God, what is this? Especially when the first drop of when Biggie was when I heard the first Biggie song, I was like, wait, is this Spider-Man? And then we went to, so I was praising for forever. And I was like, this is the film I wanted to see mostly than anything else. When is it coming? When is it coming? And lo and behold, I love this movie more than the first. And I didn't think that was possible. And I loved how it tied everything together. And down to the Prowler from Spider-Man Homecoming showing up. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because he doesn't show yet.
Yeah.
He doesn't show up yet in the MCU space,
but Tom Holland space. Seeing him in that costume and being Donald Glover. And here's the thing, not just an animated, live action. The live action Donald Glover Prowler is in this movie.
And when I've heard people who aren't really keen to see animated movies, I was like, you got to pause. This is not an animated movie. This is a comic book put to action. Like, it is a comic book action, and just every moment is not wasted at all. So to the point, and I was like, okay, they're going to wrap this up. They got 10 minutes, 15 minutes? What we doing? How are they going to wrap this up? And they don't. I was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do?
Beyond the Spider-Verse. That's where we go next.
Yeah.
Beyond the Spider-Verse. And before I hit you, Ryan, they have already announced that a live action Spider-Man film with Miles Morales is on the docket. So when you see that the end of this film goes beyond the Spider-Verse, at the same time they announce a live action Miles Morales Spider-Man movie, my spidey sense is absolutely tingling with the possibilities. But what were your thoughts, Ryan?
Well, I obviously really love the movie. I love the cameos, just the live action cameos that had me thinking. Now, do the live action characters know that they're looking at someone who's not live action? Like, do they know they're looking at someone who's animated? Or is that just for us? But the cameos were great. I really enjoyed the story. Throughout the whole story, I was trying to debate myself, going back and forth. Is this better than the first movie? I wasn't sure yet because I liked it a lot. I'm watching until they get to that big twist where Miles realizes he's not in his own universe, and how they shot it, where Gwen's outside his apartment, he's in his apartment, but in a different universe. Because I was starting to get annoyed when his mother was like, "Who's Spider-Man?" I'm like, "What? Doesn't make any fucking sense." Until it hit me, I'm like, "Oh, this motherfucker in the wrong universe." And how they explained it, my mind fucking exploded. Fucking loved it. Then
that was some Star Wars Empire Strikes Back type
no,
shit
see,
right there.
I see. I'm getting to that. So when the ending happened and the ended on a cliffhanger, I was like, oh man. But then I started thinking, you know what? I can dig it because one of my favorite movie of all time is Empire Strikes Back. And they end on that cliffhanger where they got to go save Miles. I was like, dude, this is great. So that's what put it over the edge for me. Yes, this is better than the first movie.
Oh,
That being, yeah. So like that being said, these are just small critiques. The
The
movie's
soundtrack
great.
too.
Soundtrack's great. This is just two small critiques, just very, very minor. A little too much humor. I can't really take Peter Parker seriously when he's trying to be serious with his fucking kid with him. I was like, I could deal without that.
You know what? Hold on. Your offense at anything that has kids in it.
I did not
fucking Mayday.
You. I will have my say, good sir. I will have my say.
What is
just a minor critique? I still love the movie.
This is coming from a person who doesn't have kids, because I'm gonna let you know, kids
that's what I know of.
Strap you down to like you gotta carry them
everywhere
all the time.
Again. Go ahead.
All right, go. All right,
is everybody finished?
Yes.
Is everybody done with their review? Can I get to my review?
Yes.
I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Second critique, minor critique. This is the animated film. It is a great animated film. But what is up with Gwen Stacy's teeth? What the fuck, man? You got a pen? Fucking fix that shit. I thought she was going to start speaking Klingon. That's how bad her teeth are. Those are the only two critiques of the film.
That is quite possibly the most insane critique.
Other than that, movie's good.
Gwen Stacy is offended at this particular moment.
Cope with it. Movie's good. Movie is great. It's better than the first. I enjoyed it.
One thing that stood out and I think they paid great attention to in the sequel is by highlighting all of the different spider people in this film with a different animation style.
Right.
All the way down to Ben Reilly, who looked like he was pulled out of a comic book. When they even showed Lego Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2099 was like, thank you, Lego Spider-Man. Like, you're one of our best.
You're one of our best.
I was damn near out of my seat with laughter. The things that they did with exploring, Spider-Man and seeing an animated Spider-Man in action. This is something that you said, Tom, that animation is absolutely the way to go with. And with Spider-Man, because it's the best way that you can explore the true extent of the powers, the agility, the movement, everything that happens. It's lost in translation with the live action films, as good as they are. But even with the Tom Holland films, there are moments where you're green screening it. That it's not as clean and seamless as it is in something like this. And it's not a knock against the Tom Holland films. It's just that is something that after you pointed that out, I realized why I love this animated film so much, because you get to see the full extent of all of the powers in the film. I love the genius that they showed us with Miles, his maturity, him growing, him thinking, and there's nothing silly about it. This is a true coming of age story, and there's so much that they put.
There's some humor in it.
And as a father, I'm like, something about that relationship and trying to connect with your kids. I was like, fuck, man.
And the breathing, right? To me, it's like when he's breathing, like at the end when they're breathing, Gwen and Miles, it looks so real.
Yeah.
And let's be clear. Humor has always been a part of the Spider-Man mythos.
Yes.
He's young, he's impetuous, he's a wise ass, he's a smart aleck. And so even in the midst of some of his hardest pitched battles, he's cracking jokes. So I don't think you can take humor in a Spider-Man film and say that's a knock. It's a necessity in a way that it isn't in every single comic.
It's just a personal preference. I just can't take him seriously.
And if I could speak, sir, if I could finish with my review
and not be interrupted, is good for the gander, partner. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
So what I will say is that I thought that it wasn't just the way Spider-Man moved, because let's keep it real. Ever since Tobey Maguire, all of the suited Spider-Man shit that's really impressive with swinging is all computer animation anyway.
Yeah.
But they didn't care about how the human body works. They wanted to show us how Spidey's body worked and the way the webs worked, and how you had, Miguel has laser webs, and Jess has those weird webs that she had, and then Gwen had her webs when they were protecting the crowd from the falling helicopter. And it was like Todd McFarlane webs. They didn't work the way physical webs should, but they worked the way they needed to work in the film. And when they're twisting, one of the sequences that I thought was just great was when Gwen comes back to Miles's universe and they're swinging through the city together. And it's like a date, and they're keeping pace with each other, and she's testing him, and you've grown, you're bigger, you're more mature, you're doing blah blah blah, you've got these different things that you're doing, and they're pacing each other. And then they have this quiet moment where she crawls under a ledge, and she's sitting upside down, and then he crawls under the ledge, and then we get from their point of view, and they're looking at the city upside down, which is the inspiration for this image.
That gave me anxiety, actually.
And it was just and we haven't talked about it yet, but the most obvious differentiation and most present differentiation in animation style is Hobie, who is Spider-Punk, played by Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
And everything about him, it's like torn paper around his silhouette. His color is always changing. He's just the most different Spidey out of all of them.
He's a rebel, yeah.
And it's amazing. And of course, he ends up being the person who helps drive the third act climax, because when Gwen has been banished, he gives her his working watch that lets her open portals and go where she thinks she's going to save Miles, until she realizes, to Ryan's point, that the twist is the spider who was from the different universe changed his DNA, and the spider machine that can send Spider-Man back where they're supposed to be, back to their own universes, it analyzes DNA. And so it analyzed the mutated DNA and sent him to the universe of the spider who bit him. And there
was no Spider-Man in that universe.
Because there was no Spider-Man in that universe. And you don't get it until Mom literally says, "Who's Spider-Man?" And it's like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. And then, of course, his dad is dead in that universe. And Uncle Aaron has kind of sort of stepped in. Not like they aren't married, because she's still a widow. But he's hanging around because he didn't die. And maybe because there was no Spider-Man, there was no Kingpin, because in these Spider-Verse movies, they don't have rights to any other characters. So it's really just Spider people. Yeah. And one of the conceits of the movie is that in the Spider-Verse, because Spider people are so essential to the fabric of the universe, if these canonical moments that are stacked up for all of the Spider people don't happen, then the reality of that entire universe starts to
see. That's what had me kind of confused. So basically, that entire Earth is gone because Spider-Man doesn't exist.
Well, what Miguel said is that when he went to another universe where he took the place,
yes,
right, he took the place. He didn't realize it, but he set that universe off, and that's what turned him into the dark version of 2099, because he had already lost his family, and then he goes to another universe thinking he can have a happy ending, and his presence in that universe caused the dissolution of that universe. It doesn't necessarily always mean the end, because they sent Spider people to the Mumbattan universe, and they were trying to fix it from falling apart.
Yeah, so that's what I'm really confused about.
Well, I think what they're saying is that other Spider people, because they're all connected with the web of destiny, maybe the other Spider people can repair the breach, because the Spider-Man is still there, which obviously is foreshadowing, because Gwen Stacy's dad, who was supposed to die, is now not going to die.
Because he's not a captain.
He's not going to be.
Because he's not a captain.
So with Miguel's character, though, like Miguel's character dies in that universe that he's replaced with, so he's already dead. So I'm trying to figure out.
But it wasn't his death.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't his death. his presence there prevented the death of the captain.
Yes.
And that's what fucked up that universe. It wasn't that Miguel died. It was that he, as Spider-Man with powers, prevented the death of the captain. And that's what fucked things up.
It's like that, like those moments that are canon for the Spider-Man character, for that web of life to exist. Those moments have to happen. Those tragedies, the Uncle Bens and the Captain Stacy's within the Spider-Man universe, those moments have to happen. If they don't, then it stands to reason that it could unravel the fabric of that said universe.
So it's like Doctor Strange in that episode of What If, where like what happened to him is a next six event, whatever.
Yes.
He couldn't save what's her face.
No matter what he did,
how many times
that had to happen. Yeah, that was the fixed point in the universe. And what this film stands, because this film connects the entirety of the Spider-Man universe. I'm talking from the Disney XD Spider-Man cartoon to Spider-Man from the 1970s cartoon. He's in it. And when he's trying to swing and he can't catch it because he's stuck in that Spider-Man pose, that shit was comical. Then you have Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man making an appearance in this, saying that all of this within the Spider universe is connected. And if you connect it by way of mention of what Spider-Man and Earth, what did he say from Earth 66667?
It's 1999-99. That's
that Earth there. By him recognizing that what they did in that universe is something that they're also still trying to fix. It goes to reason that this film, for me at least, is the best bet that Marvel has for really exploring and expounding upon their multiversal universe. If they look at this film and say, hey guys, we have not been hitting our multiverse the way we're supposed to. We've had a couple of moments in No Way Home.
I think this is a linchpin movie, just like DC is trying to make the Flash a linchpin movie. Yeah. Can I say though, with Spider-Punk, I must admit that when I saw him, I was like, oh, he remind you of like a Lenny Kravitz?
Yes.
Kind of. I was like, oh, you are a Lenny Kravitz embodiment. And by the way, side note, Brian Tyree Henry, who is this man's agent?
Who's that?
Yeah, this is pretty big for. I mean, there were a couple of people who were doing double duty as far as their Marvelhood in this movie. And did y'all recognize the Venom universe?
Yes.
Yes.
So they touched on all of the live action film versions. Yes. It was very smart.
Yeah.
And perhaps no more. There was no bigger crowd reaction to a cameo than when Donald Glover was there in the goddamn Prowler.
Yes.
And when they gave him lines so he could comment on shit, it wasn't just like a Howard the Duck passing by or a Cocoon for Adam Warlock. He actually had dialogue, and it was like, oh shit.
Yeah. And even the way that they explained it, when he was like, who are these people? Like, these are individuals from other universes that have found themselves out of place, and we're putting them back. So by saying you're putting the Donald Glover Prowler back, that goes to show like, oh shit, that could happen in Spider-Man 4. Things like this film touched on so many different possibilities, so many different potentialities. It's glorious, absolutely glorious.
Yeah, so because there are some people doing double duty, I'm assuming that we're just not, when this crosses over to live action, there are some people who just gonna have to be lost, right?
Fuck him. Yeah.
No, I mean, because Brian is in the Eternals.
Oh, who cares about the Eternals? Don't nobody care about the Eternals.
They're getting a second film, so
and he's not. But I'm saying he's not on screen. So to me, it's not the same.
No, I'm just making the same. I'm stating like that Spider-Man doesn't have to come. Like the Daniels Spider-Punk doesn't have to cross over.
He could.
No, well, I mean, I think for me, because this is a Sony film. And even though it is related to the MCU by way of the fact that there's a partnership with Sony, I don't think that that's going to really be an issue because, again, it's animation. So you don't see the faces. The way that both Spider-Punk and soon to be Captain Morales are drawn, it don't look like Brian Tyree Henry at all. So
And Oscar
just,
Isaac and Rashard.
yeah, Oscar
yeah.
Isaac too. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like
You can have almost anyone be the live
exactly.
action version of them if they decide to even do something so bold. I don't know. Ever since they announced the live action, there are I mean, the number of people that are being fan casted is ridiculous. I don't know who that is an actor alive right now could possibly be a live action Miles Morales. Hopefully they go for someone new. Hopefully they get a new kid, new face. I don't know.
I mean, they could do the kid from Stranger Things, I think.
You think so?
Oh.
I think he's more static.
He's little though.
Well, but I mean, he's got to be. He grew in the last season because he's playing basketball now. And it's not like this. It's not like Miles. Miles is taller, but it's not like Miles is like yoked. He wasn't as big as some of the big Spider-Men. He's still very lithe and athletic and whatever. I don't know. I mean,
and they have years before that can happen. So they got some time.
It's not anywhere near happening. So I mean, writer strike. It's the script isn't even written. So with the writer strike going on, everything else,
there's an AI machine out there that probably already wrote it. So
Oh shit!
Saying.
Yeah, that's a big thing that happened this week. I saw AI Justice League 2 and a couple of other AI plots that were spit out. And when it's read in the AI voice that they feed the scripts into, it just makes it all more eerie and upsetting. Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are the iconic figures in the JL universe. They have battled against Darkseid, who kills Lois Lane. It's Jesus Christ. Okay,
it's the possibilities of who could it be. It's endless. The other thing
I will say though,
Damson Idris.
Oh, he'd be good.
What?
But he's kind of old, isn't he?
He's old. Yeah.
Who's that?
And
I don't know who these people are.
Snowfall. And he's in
Snowfall.
Swarm. He didn't look that old in Swarm.
I don't know, man. He's a little too old. You need someone that still looks like
because Tom
17-year-old.
Holland still looks young.
But he's 30.
So,
He looks young though.
He looks young.
Remember,
Remember, Miles is supposed to be 15.
Yeah.
He's too old.
You're
tripping.
In this film, he said
that's right. Yeah, he was 13 or whatever, and now he's 15.
Yeah, this guy's too old.
Yeah, I mean, Stranger Things kid, possibly. I just think he'd be a better Static Shock since I know that they are doing
Stop calling him Static Shock. His name is Static.
All right. Static Shock from the comics,
but I will say that the Miles Morales one is not as funny as the regular Spider-Man comic books, but I still agree with Tom in saying that you do need, like, I think that's the beauty of the film is because Peter Parker is humorous. Miles Morales in their comic books
you
aren't
had
as humorous.
Spider-Ham in the first movie,
right? Yeah.
You didn't have anything as goofy as Spider-Ham in this.
The fate of multiple realities are at risk, and you fucking trying to give a serious speech with your fucking child right next to you playing around. Get the fuck out of here.
We know that Ryan will never love anything.
Jesus Christ.
That is funny.
How can you not see the difference?
Ryan,
the multiverse was at risk in the first film too. It was literally the exact same threat.
And how many stupid fucking jokes were in that?
A lot.
What are you talking about?
Spider-Ham is a fucking anthropomorphic pig who had spit on his hand.
Watch the first one? You didn't watch the first one.
You're gonna compare that to Peter. Look at my
but
kid.
Peter made a lot of jokes in the first one, but I think that Peter Parker. Yeah, but
he was fat in the first one.
They explained it's from the multiverse. I get that. It's Spider-Man from that universe. I get that. They've already explained that. But dude,
sir, the little girl wants to be with her dad. Daddy's
and
girl
she's a spider person.
10,000. That's what happens.
I was just a minor critique, and you guys are biting my head off.
Now you're yelling.
Oh, because you were fucking yelling. Because
Spider-Ham is more egregious than Mayday.
No. Anyway, I still enjoyed the movie.
Peter,
just a small critique.
It's literally a Looney
Deal with
Tunes
it.
version.
That's
That's great.
Leave
your kid at home.
Yes. There's no kid at home. You don't leave your kid at home. Not if your kid has spider powers.
Babysitter.
And that's interesting also because that's a direct tie into anyone who actually read the comic book for the introduction of Mayday before they did that New Avengers. That is how he used to take her around, which I thought was a great nod to the comic book. When I saw that, I was like, yo, that is literally what was going on in the comic when he was taking her around. That's what I'm saying. This was some really, really deep shit. Ben Reilly and Ben Reilly's his
monologue,
self-monologuing.
Oh my God.
Yo,
I'm looking at the wall.
You are killing me with that because his comic, that's how it was almost like he was like Batman, Spider-Man, pure comedy with Ben Reilly. Look,
I also say like
the comedy was funny. I agree.
The relationship that Miles has with his parents is just so on point with the comic that I just think that it's such a well-made, such a well thoughtful film.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a lot of moments, especially right now, and Tom, I know you've been there. Liz, you will be there. But just when I look at my 16 going on 17-year-old, and I just think of some of the conversations that I have with him, I'm like, oh my God, this is my son right now. This is how my son, the way that Miles is acting, his conversation with his parents, I'm literally like, you're pulling this out of my life right now. This is me and my son's mom trying to talk to him about what's going on with you, what's happening to you, like trying to decide your future stuff. I'm just like, oh man, they know me. They see me. I felt seen in a lot of those moments.
It's very, very good. Yeah. It was good.
Oh man, absolute craziness. The other thing, speaking of craziness, that is bugging me right now, and it's really, really sad. It's really, really disheartening. The pushback against Haley Bailey's Little Mermaid.
Oh Jesus!
And it's disgusting.
Are we officially off Spider-Verse so that we can invite Mo in?
Yes. Where's Mo at? Let Mo.
He's just waiting for a text to tell him he can come back.
I texted him.
To Swallow's point, I think it's the vocal minority. I think.
Well, first of all, let's first talk about the fact that I go back to Disney when they decide to make these live action films. You are dealing with every single movie has a problem, a social issue that you can easily get over in animated film. But when you are doing live action and we have to see these people, there's controversy with every single one of these things. How do you deal with it? Little Mermaid is about colonialization. This is what this movie is about. And
also, she was 16.
That part too. But I mean, this is the problem that I'm like, look, this happens in the Caribbean. Hello, is she not supposed to be? I'm like, if she was casted as white, I have a problem with it. I would have a problem.
I don't know if enough people who saw it understood the reasoning behind it, because the comments that I hear that to me reek of you holding on to racism in your heart. When I hear these reviews, and all people can say, people who are not people of color can say,
shocking
is no. They say, oh, she sings so well. All they can comment on is her ability to sing. They refuse to recognize her acting, just that she's a beautiful, none of that can be a part of their comedy. Oh, they twist themselves into pretzels to just say, well, she can sing. And then I've heard comments. I heard one comment where someone said they didn't get the reason why all of the mermaids were a different race. They said that's just trying to be woke. And I'm like, you may have missed the part in the beginning of the film. And no, but beyond that,
there's 7 C's.
There's 7
He had 7 baby mamas.
He had 7 baby mamas. But here's the thing. So to me, they said that, and I've heard this from multiple people, and I've seen this in multiple reviews, that they didn't have an issue, because that's one thing they say, well, you're making it like he's some type of hoe and this and the other. I'm like, but you didn't have a problem with the original sisters and the fact that he had all these children, because the only difference in the first one was that they all had different hair color.
Yep.
Your issue is of them being different races. I'm
Yep.
like, you reek of racism. I'm sorry, you do.
And
The
on
fact-
top of this, it's clear that you guys have no concept of Greek mythology.
None.
Triton
No.
and Zeus were hoes.
that's the whole point
Big
of
time.
They
it.
had sex
Yeah.
with animals.
Animals they had sex
As
with different women
animals.
to experiment and shit.
They were just greedy though.
They were greedy. Oh, they were out there. They was out there getting it.
Supposedly Helen's mom is a swan.
Yes.
Like, what are we talking about here?
Listen, this people who are trying to claim that the first movie was a masterpiece. In my review on
Y'all
my
didn't
page,
watch it.
I said, watch it again after you've watched this one, because I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. The Little Mermaid was trash. The animation was trash. The plot was trash. They rushed through. How Ursula gonna come out the water, sing 2 notes, hypnotize his ass, and get married that afternoon? Ursula didn't even want Eric. All Ursula wanted was to distract Ariel from winning. She didn't need to marry Eric to do that.
No.
All she needed to do was hypnotize him and sit him in a goddamn bedroom. And so the fixes that they made in this movie, the doubt that Eric had because he was legitimately falling in love with Ariel, all of that was great and real and mature and accurate. That's what you would expect. Even the his major domo was like, "Are you sure you're trying to do this, Eric?" And he's like, "I don't even know. Like, I it's not right. Something ain't right."
That character was great too.
It was
little things that made it better.
There were so many things that made it better. And when you think about the time, because it was almost an hour longer, the stuff that I really appreciated was, unlike in the first movie where Ariel is basically just following behind him, she's teaching him stuff. He's got his little treasure trove just like she's got her treasure trove. And she breaks open the geode and shows him that there's something inside. He's like, "How did you know that was in there?" And she's like, And then she wants to look at the maps. And then instead of Sebastian literally saying, "Her name is Ariel," she figures out a way to let him know what her name is. And that's one of the really tricky parts of the first movie. How can you hear Sebastian say her name and not hear him saying, "Kiss her, you dumbass"? He's singing a whole ass song about kiss the girl, but you can hear him say her name, but you can't hear him say kiss her.
Well, the reasons that they put behind the plotting of why they did certain things, that those are the things that I liked, because I have had to watch that movie I don't know how many times, the animated movie. My daughter, huge fan. She has the sing along. She would grab her little toy microphone and be singing it out. Anytime we go to California Adventure, we're going to get on the Little Mermaid ride. I was inundated my entire, daughter's life growing up watching. So when I see this one, I'm like, oh, well, this is a story I can appreciate. It's like the relationship between her and Eric. It wasn't based on, oh, I'm just obsessed with humans. It was based on a mutual respect of someone saying, like, hey, this guy's like me. He wants to bridge gaps between people and lands and shit. I don't know.
But I think we have to put in context 1989 and where Disney was when it comes to princesses. So I remember being, 7 in the theater watching it, and I was entranced, not because of Ariel, because she's not my favorite Disney princess even then.
Of course not.
But it was the music. And the music is the thing that it was the tingling of why that was such a special movie. It wasn't necessarily the plot line and everything else, but I mean, it's 1989. And I also think that you had nothing but damsel in distresses princesses, right? And so in 2023, you can't get away with these damsel in distress princesses like you can in 1989. So you had Ariel that's a little, in 89 that didn't have much of a voice. And this is the funniest thing about this, the critique, is that you also are having people who are like, I'm teaching my daughter not to have a man take away your voice. And it's like, wow, you didn't watch the original. Because
Yeah.
that's a very good complaint about the original,
but not a
not
complaint about
this one.
one.
So
And-
it's like,
and
what
that's-
are we watching?
There was a guy on Facebook who was, and I won't even say woke because woke has just been abused. I will say he was
Yes.
being very hotepish and was like, because somebody said, oh, it made a whole lot of money. He's like, well, of course it did. It's about trading your culture for the dominant culture and giving away your voice and power. And I was like, yeah, so you haven't watched this one, have you? And he was like,
Came out of Mars with that
I don't
shit.
have to watch it. I said, okay, so I understand where you're coming from the original animated version, but if you had watched this movie, perhaps your argument would have more weight because you're just saying an opinion about how you feel based on the first movie, not based on the movie that you're actually attempting to critique. And somebody in the chat was like, by the way, 75% of the earth is covered by water, so they're the dominant culture.
By the way, this is where I would get the complaint of the redheaded people who are upset at Ariel being
Redheaded
black.
people that are upset.
Oh yes, they are.
They're gingers.
Oh,
Who cares? They
yes.
have no soul. So it
I
doesn't
could
matter.
understand if they were upset if this was Brave. If you casted a black woman as Brave, then I'd be like, okay, I get you.
Right?
Because
It's Scotland.
right.
Yeah.
Right. But to cast her, and first of all, there are black people who are born with red hair. My line sister
Malcolm
is
X.
one.
Yeah, Malcolm X.
Malcolm X is
Yeah.
another.
My aunt,
So
rest in
to
peace, yeah.
And she half white or half Spanish fish, whatever.
to say that black people don't have red hair naturally, that's offensive. And did you even see that people are trying to pull out how much money they spent on her hair?
Yeah. They
Who
literally
cares?
don't.
The hair
You know
looked
what?
great.
The individuals who are review bombing this film for the sake of racism,
Yeah, they're trolls. Yes.
all of China, that is like, we refuse to show it or refuse to give it a props because she's black. To me it's one of those stark reminders, like, wow, even the fact that you are in a mythological land talking about mer people, even then the offense is so great that those who would want to see it undone, the minority, as you said, McBain, that is so
Vocal
loud,
minority.
the
Yes.
vocal minority that's so loud, it's there's a mission. It almost seems like there's some type of cult-like mission to just erase it. Because I was looking at one review like this, that, and the other, and I'm like, wow. It's so interesting how you feel this way about this version of the Little Mermaid, because I can remember for the last, I don't know, all of my fucking life, where watching any movie, Disney or otherwise, where we were not a part of the picture at all. The first fucking Little Mermaid
we
movie,
were
the
a part of the
only thing was a
picture.
crab.
We were the little darkies in the first part of Disney.
That's what I'm saying. So when you want to levy a complaint to me about anything having to do with seeing black people in films or feeling like, quote unquote, you're left out, I say, well, welcome to all of fucking Hollywood and anyone black, Latino, or other. And that is how we have felt for the longest time, looking at these productions, these TV and film productions, where we were always in the background. We were, the person who tied the cape on the superhero, never the superhero. We were the person who, we were the crab walking around fucking chasing Ariel, but we weren't in the fucking movie. So that's what I'm saying. It's that's kind of how it feels. Or has felt for those of us our entire lives, because my daughter up until now has never had a fucking Disney character until Tiana that she could look at and say, oh wow, I see me. So
Tiana was a frog for 80% of the damn movie.
And that was a real kick in the ass, right?
Let me say that song, Holly's first song, I was like, tears came to my eyes. Like, it was stunning. And I got the same chills that I got as a 7-year-old. And I was like, oh, let me sit up. Because, I have low expectations for all these live action movies.
Yeah.
And let me just briefly chime in on the whole China thing and their racism. In their poster, they actually made her skin kind of blue. First of all, Halle Berry is not as dark as her sister.
Halle Bailey.
Bailey.
Yeah, what did I say? Barry?
Barry.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all say that. Don't worry.
Halle Berry as Ariel is not as dark as the obvious.
Bailey.
Damn it. Her dreadlock chick, Chloe's sister, is not nearly as dark as the clearly black mermaid of King Triton's Hodem in the Red Sea or whatever the hell it was that he picked up that mama. I actually was taken aback at how it appeared to me that they were trying to lighten her skin to make her look less black. It was a little pasty in the beginning. When she was out of water, she looked more like her natural self. But in the water, when she's singing out part of this world and swimming around and stuff, I was really kind of taken about. I was like, did they like digitally kind of mess with her a little bit just to make her a little bit more appealing? But here's what I have to say about China and why they can fuck all the way off. I'm going to show you the Chinese poster for Across the Spider-Verse, and I've zoomed in on the Miles character. And those of you who are familiar with Chinese mythology, I just want you to take note. And if you don't catch it, I will clue you into it. So here's the image. You'll see that Miles is holding a staff, and he has two elongated.
He looks like the Monkey King.
I am saying that they have drawn him as the Monkey King.
Yeah.
The Black Spider-Man.
Like the instant I saw that image, I was like, that's the fucking Monkey King.
Monkey King.
That's the fucking Monkey King.
And that's what they did in China. Now, you can see that they have other Asian iconography in pretty much all of the Spider-Men, but they're spider people, but it is super duper interesting to me that the one person they picked, right?
Oh,
he's the Monkey King.
Shit.
He's in a full ass costume where you can't tell the race of any of the spider people. Well, Jess you can, because Jess ain't got no mask. But basically, even in a full mask, China's like, oh no, he got to be a monkey.
Oh, that's some bullshit, dude. That's some bullshit.
And so China fucked all the way off.
I that's my first time seeing that image. That is some outright super
bullshit
shit.
Super duper.
Dude.
Yeah.
Fucking damn, dude.
I concur.
So that's trash. So I think that it's a shame that they have stacked blockbusters. This is the real summer blockbuster. This is the first summer blockbuster season since COVID. So 2020, we lost it. This is the first one. And they're like, oh no, every week is a huge movie. You started with little. Now you got Spider-Verse. Next you got, you started with Fast X, although Fast X had a few weeks kind of alone. But you got Mermaid, you got Spider-Verse. Next week you got Transformers. You got fucking Mission Impossible coming. You got
you skipped over the Flash.
Oh, fuck the Flash. Okay, yeah, sure, the Flash. Yeah, another big ass movie. And they're not giving them any breathing room. You remember when you used to have the respect to give a huge movie like 2 weeks at least? They're like, fuck you. We're going to see if we can get this money.
We're supposed to get Spider-Verse last year. COVID fucked everything up.
They did. And you know what? The only blessing for that is that we're getting Beyond in March. We don't even have to wait a full year.
Yeah, but Indiana Jones is on the 30th.
Yeah. Indiana Jones, another blockbuster. If you are not on A-list, think about it.
Look, I've already got my
IMAX Laser is $26 a ticket, bro.
Yeah.
And I've already done 3 times that amount just in May. So think about it. This is a big summer.
I'm taking I saw Spider-Man on Thursday. going
Right.
back again with the whole family on Sunday. And then I
Right.
got tickets for Indiana Jones already in my queue. I've already got
Right.
Transformers in my queue.
Yep.
There's so much shit coming out. I'm like, oh damn.
Even Boogeyman. Boogeyman's out this week, and that's not a major,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
number
Stephen
4.
King, and
Yeah.
supposedly it's supposed to be pretty good. Yeah, John Wick 4, which
No, I'm saying it's number 4.
Don't hate on John Wick.
Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Boogeyman.
anyway, the
Fucking
point
hater.
is this is a big ass summer for movies. Again, movies are back.
Yes.
And so
my theater was packed.
It was packed. And applause and all of that. Gasps and I mean at the legit belly laughs, all of that. This movie is gonna do big. I mean, they're already saying it is already
surpassed.
beaten, right.
It's
The
old.
opening
Yeah.
the opening day, it is already beaten its predecessor, which is not something that normally happens. And it's on track to exceed the opening weekend for Fast X. It probably won't quite cross it could go as high as Little Mermaid did across the 4-day weekend, but just in 3 days. So it's doing very, very well.
But everything has to do very well its opening weekend because
for sure.
I mean,
you ain't got a chance.
Next week with Transformers dropping,
fucking Guardians.
We
left out Guardians.
Yeah.
I forgot.
This has been a huge summer already.
Well, Hollywood has to make up for it. Hollywood has a lot to make up for. The theaters got a lot of catching up they got to do if they're going to hope that they can probably, if they're smart, they can take this entire summer and really pay off all their debt if they're fucking smart.
I gotta disagree. Gotta disagree.
There you go. Let Mo talk.
I haven't seen shit. I gotta disagree. If you just look at the box office numbers, these movies still are not doing what pre-pandemic blockbusters did. You only got one movie which hit $1 billion, and that was Super Mario Brothers. But everything else is doing well relative.
Mario Brothers, Jesus Christ,
is doing well relative to the space and time that they're in and the other movies in that time and space. But I'm saying, Super Mario Brothers is 1.2 billion, but ain't nothing else doing that well.
Not even close. Yeah, you're right.
Not even Fast X, which might end up at 750 global.
At
I'm
best.
so surprised that it got to 1.2 billion.
In the States.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think the only reason why is because it's short too. Well, like you can really have more showings. Super Mario Brothers, you can have more showings because it's a short film. I mean, this movie is as good as it is, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Little Mermaid, as good as it is 2.5 hours.
But I think there was a point in time where, in summers past, like movies have been getting longer and longer ever since the fucking what is that? The Schmog movie, the with the little elves. Why am I drawing?
Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings, yeah. Movies have been long.
Did you say the little elves? Like we were supposed to remember.
Elves. They were dwarf elves, the
hobbits.
The hobbits, yeah, not even
Jesus, Koala.
Yeah, the hobbits. Movies have been long for.
We don't have movies that come early in the morning too. Like I was like, why did movies start at 12 or 1? Like if you started going back to 9 a.m., 10 a.m. movies.
No, staffing.
Oh.
Also, they want to have fewer opportunities for you to get that bargain matinee price.
Oh, that's
right.
Point.
Yeah.
You got a show. You got that show. You got that 11 o'clock show. That's it. You ain't in it. That's it. And then everything else is Tuesday at AMC. You got the discount all day. Listen, if what is true that in their attempt to try to cash in and get people back into theaters, give them a new reason to come every week, they should have spaced this out a little bit because everybody does have a multiplex. And back when we were kids, they would literally let you, when I was a kid, they would let you stay in the movie. If you missed the first 10 minutes, you could just sit there while they sweeping around you and kind of wait until the next one came. Now,
true story.
Right, because they have
Yeah.
assigned seats. You can't be doing well in most theaters now. They still have AMC Classic where it's catch as catch can, but in most theaters now, you have an actual seat, so you can't do that foolishness
Yeah.
anymore. You can't run to the next theater and sneak in and watch something, blah blah blah. So the dynamics of the whole experience have changed, and they're shooting themselves in the foot. If you have something like Spider-Verse, if you have something like Fast X had the time, or rather Guardians had the time, because they were number one like 4 weeks or 5 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
If they had given some of these tentpole films a little more time to breathe, you might not have had as severe a fall off. Little Mermaid fell off 60%, but that's because Into the Spider-Verse sucked all the oxygen out of everything.
Yeah.
You didn't even give people a chance to go into the second week like, oh, I heard it wasn't as bad as I thought it might be, and so let me go give it a chance. Now it's like everybody's got to go see Miles Morales.
And I feel sorry for these small little films. They have no chance.
Oh, please.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and
They're taking up time.
I did see the I know you guys are going to tease me, but I did see the book club, because I love the first one, and I'm going to see Jane Fonda in anything, but and of course that's packed with a certain demographic.
Yeah.
Right.
Depends.
But as a whole, there are these other little movies that are coming out that nobody is seeing.
Get your Bengay.
Yeah, Chevalier. There's plenty of movies, but I mean, thank goodness that there are metroplexes where you can. I mean, did y'all see Evil Dead Rises or Evil Dead Rise?
No,
I did.
Nah.
It was good.
I'm sure it was.
There's a lot of good stuff that's coming out that's just, it's not going to get the time of day. It's why even when they brought back Movie Pass for the summer, I'm like, but why? How are y'all bringing Movie Pass back to grab fucking more dollars from theaters' pockets? Like, I didn't understand the concept.
Is Movie Pass still even around?
Yeah, it's back.
It just brought it back.
No. I saw that they rebooted it, but when I looked at their model, I was like, why would anybody do this? The cheapest price gets you 2 movies a month or some bullshit. It was like, what's the point of that?
What is the point? I don't know.
Movie Pass worked because it was unlimited movies for like no dollars. And then when that model was unsustainable, they were like, oh, okay, well, let's give you tiers. A-list is one price, all formats, 12 movies a month. Nobody can beat that because AMC owns everything. They know how many seats they're selling. They're selling popcorn. They're selling expensive ass nuggets and nachos.
I bring my own food
and masks.
But I'm saying that's what their business model. Their business model isn't tickets. Their business model is bodies who buy overpriced shit. That's
Fast
the
and the Furious collector's container, which is why it's still there. It's like
it's
$67. No, it's $60.
Is it?
Like buying this?
Fuck off.
No. When I went to go and see Fast X, I saw a bunch of people walking around with those things. I didn't even bother to ask how much it was.
60.
But I went to the City Walk, and there was a whole bunch of folks walking around with those things.
That's a take a gas. Get the fuck out of here.
The damn rocket radio with the rocket with how much was that?
And I was like, wait, how much is my bill? Because it went from $60.
How much was that?
I was like, it was $39.
See?
I didn't know how much it was until my bill came, and I was like, wait, why am I $100?
I did get the Wakanda Forever light up tin.
I did.
You should. Yes.
I did.
Little Mermaid lights up too, but I can't find that because they sold out of all of them.
Oh, the bucket.
Yeah.
Wow. So look, this is what movie theaters are getting into.
Like collectibles.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to enhance the overall experience, but the thing that they need,
but nobody's
to make
buying
sure
that
they're
fast.
doing is, look, they need to make sure that the movies are good. I have my doubts about Transformers. I do want to see it just because I like Bumblebee a lot, so I have faith. I just don't know right now. My theater is looking real light. So I don't know. People are going to pack out to
It's
see it.
tricky
If
because
you're gonna go
I'm
see
not
Fast and the
sure.
Furious, you should have no problem seeing Transformers.
I
look,
will
look,
watch it, but I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
go
that
see
it's that
everything.
good
Yeah.
because I didn't really like
Wait.
Bumblebee.
I did not realize how far out there they are going with, and I don't know if this was a Sony push. There are 5 different collectibles.
Oh, really?
There's a Miles head, there's a Gwen head, and then there are 3 stackable blocks. One for Miles, one for Gwen, one for Miguel O'Hara.
Huh.
Damn.
They're already on eBay.
Oh, so yeah.
Well, because you
That's
can't
all right.
find Miles. Miles is like sold out. It's sold out.
Miles so damn near sold out almost instantaneously. I think people were buying that in advance.
Yeah, I need to go. I had no idea there even was a Miles head to buy. So
Yeah. Yeah, they were like they sold out that morning on Friday morning. So
and
I was
there's
like,
even
really?
there's even a regular 10.
I didn't know about the 10.
Oh, that's only for a Cinemark theater.
See, this is what I'm saying.
They are selling
and I don't
these
like
for
Cinemark.
$100 on eBay already.
Okay, they can fuck off.
Oh, let me get mine. Let me sell because I paid $26. I ain't get my money back.
Nah.
But it comes with the popcorn. And the Fast and the Furious does not come with the popcorn
Oh,
for
shit.
$59.
You get that car.
Yeah, but you know why?
Okay.
It's because the popcorn's all about family.
Yes.
Hey, look. Hey, I had a good time watching that shit. Hey, and The Rock is back.
Me
They're doing a
too.
spinoff, but it's just Hobbs. The Rock came back and said, I'm back, but first I have to do it. Not Hobbs and Shaw. The Rock is going to do Hobbs, his own film, and then he'll be in Fast.
Well, we don't know what happened to
11.
Shaw. What happened to
No.
Shaw?
It
Shaw
doesn't
went
even matter.
off.
Yeah, and guess what, Liz?
So
He's
wait.
not going to be in The Rock's sequel.
You're
Okay,
saying
well,
the
we just-
Hobbs movie is coming before Fast 11?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
With
already
no
shot?
Shaw. With no Shaw.
It's already because they've got 11 in the works. At first they were like, look, we'll go on and do up to what 12,
Right.
But the Rock's deal, the Rock coming back, his deal was I will come back as Hobbs in this last minute thing. This is from the director of Fast.
That's
That he was
because
like, we sat
They
down
didn't
with him,
know.
we talked to him. He said, yes, I'm on board. I will do it. And then after doing the cameo and he saw the reaction from the crowd, this is the story.
Okay.
The reaction from the crowd of seeing, me back with the Fast family. I can't resist. We're gonna do it. I'm back in.
I
You're
have
gonna see
never
a
seen that
Hobbs
man.
movie.
The Rock.
and then that.
I have never seen The Rock turn down not one check.
Hey, look, man, the Rock is about that business. The Rock is
By the
about
way,
that money.
Robert's
gonna
talking
get it.
about, did we check out this Kandahar film? This is another
The what?
one. The Kandahar film. This is another one that's going to fall to the wayside.
Ain't nobody got time for Kandahar.
What Kandahar film?
There's one, it just came out, but it's going to fall to the wayside because I'm going back to see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I mean, Spider-Man, the new one. And then I'm going across the Spider-Verse and I'm going to go back and see Little Mermaid again. I can't go back and see Kandahar.
I don't know. Look, I don't know what Kandahar is, but I do know that I gotta see Across the Spider-Verse again. And
In
then
3D.
you know what? I didn't think about that, but I'm seeing. Look, I'm gonna see it in Dolby. I saw it IMAX. Next time I'm seeing it in Dolby. But then after that, I ain't got no time to be seeing movies during the week. I will be seeing Transformers, next week.
Right.
And then week after that, I'm seeing Indiana Jones, and then
Indiana Jones is June 30th. The next week after that is The Flash, which is what we're supposed to be meeting about.
I thought The Flash was like 2 weeks or June 16th or something like that.
Yes, our next
that's
meeting
the week after Transformers.
Yeah.
Our next time is
June 9th
Transformers
is
and The
Transformers.
Flash.
June 16th is The Flash.
Well, I thought she was talking about Indiana Jones.
No, Tawala said he's gonna see
after
Indiana
that.
Jones
Oh,
right
okay.
after that.
And
it's
she
like,
said
no,
you
June
gotta
30th.
can't forget The Flash.
Oh, so that's later. Look,
This is a nonstop train.
You only get 1 week off, the 23rd.
Yeah, it's fuckery, and I don't know why they're giving that much deference to fucking
The Flash.
to The Flash.
Because it's gonna make money. People are gonna go see it.
Oh, it'll make money, but it doesn't warrant Indiana Jones taking off a week from the release schedule.
Well,
if anything,
Oh,
what
Indiana
you call
Jones
it?
reviews. I don't know.
Oh, ain't nobody interested in seeing that shit.
Well, on the
I like Indiana
21st,
Jones.
something else is coming out. So
Hold on.
What's going on 21st?
Disney Plus. And I know Mo can possibly catch up on the Disney Plus one.
Well, you
What's
talking
going on,
about
Disney
Secret
Plus?
Invasion?
Isn't Ashoka
Yes,
coming out?
Secret
Oh
Invasion.
shit!
Yeah.
I
It's
forgot
on
about
the
Secret
21st.
Invasion.
I didn't.
Oh damn! Ah, fucking
No
life
time?
is life right now.
There's no fucking time. Because
No
I'm gonna be
time.
all watching some of my Nick Fury. I need my
Oh,
Samuel
shit.
Jackson.
Do we know
And
if
isn't
that's
it
week by
supposed to-
week?
No, it's supposed to be
Okay.
a dump.
Ooh.
It's a dump?
Wait, it's a dump?
It's supposed to be. That's what
Ooh.
they
Hold on.
said. Unless they take it back. But it's supposed to be
I
a
only
dump.
knew whatchamacallit was all on one day. Echo is all on one day. I didn't
Yes,
hear
I
about.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
didn't hear about Secret Invasion. If
But
that's
it
the
could
case,
be
Right, we
man,
have a
I gotta
break.
take off.
We have a break.
It's
Next
not.
week is Transformers. That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Then June 16th, there are a couple of movies. Asteroid City, I just saw a trailer for today.
I'm not
The
watching that.
Blackening, The Flash.
Not
I'm not
watching
watching
that.
The Black
No.
Extraction
Got it.
2, I'm going to watch on Netflix for sure.
Yeah.
And then the new Pixar movie, Elemental,
I'm
is
gonna watch
also
that.
next week. That's going to be a crowded opening.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
yeah.
the Wikipedia. Secret Invasion. It's not a dump, unfortunately. It's
Oh.
week
Okay.
by week.
So June 23rd is Light. It's No Hard Feelings in theaters. I don't even know what that
No.
is.
So Jennifer
Then
Lawrence.
June 30th is Indiana
That
Jones
looks
and
so
this
stupid.
Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken movie, which is
Nope.
crazy.
That's
Then
not-
you got the next week is Joyride and Insidious.
Wait,
And
what's
then
the movie with the dogs?
huh?
What's that movie
Oh,
called?
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Is Will Ferrell on them.
Yeah.
And dogs voicing all the dogs.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Is
That's
that,
not Joyride. That's
isn't it this
No,
month?
What is that called though? That shit
Stray.
looks hilarious.
Stray. Yeah, that looked funny as fuck. I might fuck with that.
Stray is
Stray
not
was
until
Of course.
I don't even see it on the release. Oh
It's
yes,
funny,
it is.
Liz.
Strays.
Don't you
It's
like
August
humor?
18th.
Oh, that's end of summer. Okay.
Yeah, end of
Stray.
summer. So July 14th or July 12th, you got Mission Impossible Part 1.
Okay.
Then July 14th, you don't have a big release, but you do have Bird Box Barcelona, which I guess is the sequel
I don't.
set in Europe. Then
Yeah.
July 21st, you got Oppenheimer and Barbie.
I want to see that.
Which one?
Oppenheimer looks great.
Then you
It
got
does.
the week after that, you got Haunted Mansion.
I want to see that too.
I don't. And Talk to Me. And then August 4th, you got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I
I
can't
saw that
wait.
trailer. That looks
That looks
impressive.
That looks good.
And you got the Meg 2 with Jason Statham getting eaten by a shark.
I didn't see the main
I
one.
can't believe that.
Oh,
the first
I
one.
can't believe
Yo.
they're making another one.
They have a Gran Turismo film coming out
Yes, they do.
that actually looks fire.
Oh, the race car one?
Yeah, because it's
I wanna
based
see
on a
that.
true story.
I want to see that so bad.
Jaimin Hansu is this dude who looks, I guess he's supposed to, I don't know if he's supposed to be like that, the black Formula One dude, but
Yeah, it looks nothing like him. Yeah.
no, he doesn't look anything like him except he's bare.
But he's the
basically
one
light-skinned.
who's making the movie. Like the
Who?
person who's actually, I mean, he's the producer. The person who the
Oh, the
story is
Formula
about,
One guy?
He's the producer of this movie.
Well, I thought it looked cool. I was
I
like,
do
oh
too.
shit,
It's a cool
I didn't know
story.
this was real. It's a cool story. And so I'm interested in that. And then that takes us through August 11th is Gran Turismo. Then right after that, you got Blue Beetle and Strays.
Strays,
Nice.
baby.
Nice.
And then you got White Bird, which is that's not going to do any business. And then Labor Day, you got the Equalizer 3 with Denzel, who has
Denzel,
lost
baby.
a lot of weight.
Yeah, but I saw that trailer. He doesn't look like he's able to equalize anymore. Sorry.
I mean, he could barely equalize in 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And this one, the equalization is a lot of thought.
Look,
He's sitting
Listen,
back.
we've already got Queen Latifah in 38 episodes of The Equalizer.
I
don't
see
know
Denzel Washington in those movies for his speeches because he says some cold motherfucking shit in those movies. That's all I
yeah.
gotta say about that.
No,
Yeah.
when he killed, when he stabbed all those white boys who had raped that
Yeah.
sex worker.
Yeah.
He
Co-worker,
locked
was
the
he a
door.
sex worker?
She was just she was just a chick who they had over. Look, I just look.
Mm,
I like
maybe. I mean,
I
I
like
thought she was expecting
Denzel.
Maybe. Okay.
I think Denzel is one of the greatest. But when I saw that trailer, I was like, the equalization just looks more
no.
like it looked more like subtraction. I mean, the shit was not. He was not
Believe in
moving the way he was
Denzel,
supposed
okay?
to.
Believe in Denzel.
Alright.
It's Denzel.
Well, but wait, the Equalizer is ending out the summer. Ain't nothing really big.
It's the last. I mean, that's Labor Day. So I mean,
Yeah.
if Labor Day is the end of summer, then
I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's nothing else like jumping that's like, oh shit.
not that I'm seeing.
Okay. All right. So really everything is packed within June and throughout like most of July.
We should know
June and
this was going to
these
happen.
these next 8 weeks is a lot.
I mean, like, ever since COVID, like, everything got delayed. Now they're just trying to get those movies out as fast as they can. This was bound to happen.
Yeah, and they need to figure out how to end this writer strike because you're gonna have another dry spell in a minute.
Hey, yo, word to that. Like, there's a lot of productions that's being pushed back, and I think a lot of these stars are like when Tom Holland comes out and says, we were in talks for Spider-Man 4, but because of the writer strike, things are slowing down. I think that type of pressure that you're putting on Hollywood is intentional, because they may not have been in any kind of talks, but when he comes out and says that, then you've got people, hashtagging and emailing and calling the damn studios like, what the fuck is up with y'all? Like stuff like that means and
with Netflix,
the writer strike. We're just talking about the writer strike. The Directors Guild and SAG-AFTRA, those contracts are up for renegotiation at the end of this month. So if things don't work out with even the Directors Guild, it could be a huge problem.
And let's not forget that Netflix is doing all this issue with sharing, trying to collect more money and trying not to do all this. Yeah. And you're not gonna have new product. Yeah. Like, what are we doing here?
Fuck Netflix for that bullshit.
And they talking about, are you a part of this home? Like, what?
I haven't been hit with that yet. But
it's coming.
Piss the fuck off as soon as
it's coming.
They have a Dracula movie, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I saw that trailer, and that actually
is it like Vampire in Brooklyn? Is it like that?
No. It actually looks good.
Is it part of Universal's Monsterverse? Are they trying to get that back, or is this just its own thing?
I think it's its own thing because it just deals with the voyage of the ship that Dracula is being transported on from when he leaves Transylvania and goes to London.
Okay. All right.
And it does have and They Clone Tyrone is on Netflix in July as well.
I can't wait for
Ayanna Paris and Jamie Foxx and John Boyega.
That shit looks great.
Yeah.
The Clone Tyrone looks fucking great. The new trailer for Extraction 2, that shit looks like it's gonna be nonstop. And they said that we learned the lesson from the first one with having too much acting. This one we are focusing on giving you some of the best action. The first one they say, they say it's because there was too much of the story and the relationship with the kid that messed up the story. And I'm like, what you're saying is the acting was really, really bad, and everyone loved that fucking nonstop action sequence. With this film, they are trying to attempt a nonstop action sequence for the damn near the entire. Like, they're saying once this film starts, they're trying to do as much single shot action shit as they can. The trailer is phenomenal. The trailer for Extraction 2 is phenomenal. So, I don't know. We'll see.
I'd have to go back and watch the first
it looks good.
You don't have to go back and watch it. You don't have to.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't have to watch it.
The only thing you need to know is that the extractor is back. That's about it. There's nothing that happens in the first one that is really meaningful for a sequel. This is because this one isn't a carryover from the first one, other than the extractor is back.
Hemsworth is there.
Yeah, he's back. He didn't die in the first one. That's it.
Robert mentions the Wrath of Becky. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I am actually, like, even at my local theaters, the few that I normally go to, they're not even showing any of these other movies. Like, they may have one showing of something else, like 2 or 3 other movies. Everything is fast, and the Furious, it's The Little Mermaid, and it's now Spider-Man. Like there's nothing but those three. And then there's maybe something else, a trickle of something else. The only way that you're going to get me to see something else is going to be at the house on Amazon Prime or Max
Yeah.
or something like
Fucking
this.
HBO, dude. What the hell?
I'm just saying, like, that's the only way that I'm going to see it, because I can't even get the opportunity to go see it because the theaters are only showing those three.
Well,
Right.
I mean, even speaking of that, what are you watching, Liz? You know, at the house.
Actually, I did finish the season of Ted Lasso, which actually had me in tears. I
Okay.
was crying at Ted Lasso's ending, but actually, I especially when I know you want to bring up Apple TV. There's
No.
nothing really on Apple TV that I am watching at the moment. I mean, I am finishing out the series that I've been starting, and most of them aren't worth mentioning. But I've been doing a lot more documentaries because I've been curious to see stuff like actually, I got a request from one of our listeners to watch the Menendez new
Oh, the
docu.
Menendez brothers. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was grossly surprised at how much I didn't know about what was taking place between the Menudo brothers and the Mendez brothers and how they
Oh,
whatever.
Menudo. When you said that, I was like, the what?
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know.
Menudo, the group. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Same
group.
group. Mhm.
Didn't because I was too young to care about the Mendez brothers.
Nah, that's a big story.
It was a big story, but I
It was.
didn't get into the details because I was like, I
Mhm.
don't care about these people. This sounds like white people and white people's problems. So I didn't dig deep. And so it was really interesting to watch it for sure. And then I got caught into watching like the Murdoch murders, the both of those two series, one on Max, and the other one on Netflix. The one on Netflix is way better than the one on Max actually. And so I've been doing some documentaries, doing some,
Hey, if you're watching
nothing spectacular.
documentaries, let us know next show what you think about the Donna Summer documentary. It's on
Oh
HBO Max.
yes.
I heard it's really good,
yes.
but I just haven't,
Yeah.
I gotta divvy up my watching time.
You mean Max?
Oh yes, Max.
Yes.
Fucking Max. What you watching, McBay?
The moment I found out that they were putting Lower Deck characters in live action, I was like, yo, okay, so check this out. You gave me what I wanted, so I'm gonna give y'all what you want. I went back and started watching Discovery because I want to catch all the way up. I want to miss shit. So I only watched the first season. So when I went back, I started season 2. I'm down on season 3. I like it. It's good. Now I'm trying to figure out, because after I finish this, I'm gonna go to Strange New Worlds. I'm telling you, man, I love Lower Decks. It is so fucking stupid. It's funny. Oh, dude, if you want a good laugh, just watch that animated show. It is.
Do they have any
funny.
babies in it?
Actually, they do.
No,
They do, but guess what? Lives aren't at stake, really. So it's kind of like in a time and place type of situation. So it
Lower
makes
Decks
fucking
is-
sense.
Lower Decks is one of the best Star Trek.
It's good.
And I think
It is.
for
It's
me.
funny.
It's one of the only Star Trek shows I've actually watched. I from back in the day. I used to, sit up and watch the original. My grandfather he used to bore the shit out of me. I didn't like it at all.
It's too
Fucking-
complicated.
I
They make things. They
hated
make
watching that.
they
show.
make the smallest things too complicated.
Yeah, it just didn't do it for me. So, and anytime I was in the hospital, the show with Whoopi Goldberg was
Jesus,
on,
Paula.
and that Star Trek
Next
one.
generation, yes.
That one was whack because fucking in the bar all the damn time talking about alien shit, and I'm like, fuck out of here with this show. That was whack. But when I saw Lower Decks, and I don't even know what made me watch Lower Decks. I think I was like, because that stupid video game show was on that network on Paramount. The Halo was on there, and I was like, okay, I was like, well, I finished this
Jesus.
stupid ass show. And I said,
You
well,
watched
what else is
Halo?
on
You
here?
finished that?
Unfortunately, it was not worth it
Yeah.
at all. So I was looking at the network, and I was like,
When
what
keeping it
else is
real
on here
goes
before I give it up? And I ended up watching Lower Decks, and that shit was phenomenal.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Out
You
this,
frozen.
when is Dune?
You frozen. Liz.
June is not until
Dune.
after. Dune is
Okay.
like November. It's
Yeah,
not a summer movie.
Yeah. They're
And
just
then
teasing Cheryl
Color
right now.
Purple ends the year, basically.
I
That looks
cannot
interesting.
wait.
That one looks interesting. What you watching, Tom?
I am watching Rabbit Hole now that all of the episodes are out. That was another weekly release, and it's on Paramount Plus. I am really toying with the idea of going to ad-free because I got to tell you, I'm not used to watching things with commercials anymore. And I got Paramount Plus, and I watched The Equalizer. And I don't mind it because The Equalizer is cut like a TV show. And so they know the beats that they can cut to commercial on. But I think Rabbit Hole was shot just like to be a contiguous show.
Is
And
that
so
any
it's
good?
just like,
Is it all right?
huh?
Is it good?
It is. Well, it's I'll say this, it's better than Citadel. At least these first two episodes have been real.
How's the humor in
twisty.
that, by the way?
This asshole.
There's actually some. I mean, Kiefer Sutherland is saying some shit, and they have a vaguely black female protagonist.
Vaguely black.
Well,
What does that mean?
She ain't obviously black until she said she was a black woman. I was like, oh, I thought she was just kind of.
I never heard vaguely black. I'm gonna start using that. That's good.
Racially ambiguous.
That's probably the
sure.
funniest fucking thing you've ever said. I've known
so-
you. Vaguely black.
She's kind of comic relief, but also not. And
You
I
gotta
will say this: if
wait.
you find people falling off of buildings funny, it's a laugh riot.
Well, that is funny. Actually,
Hey, that could be funny.
Actually, thinking about that, that's the one show that Mo could be here for because I was
Oh,
stunned
God.
that the movie was actually pretty decent. The
Which one?
You guys, the Ben Affleck movie.
Damn.
Yeah. No. It's
Hypnotic?
No, not
Hypnotic.
that is
Yeah,
good.
Hypnotic.
Hypnotic.
Oh, Hypnotic got savaged. They were like,
It
fuck
did.
Hypnotic.
Wow.
But I
Oh,
was surprised
People
that
are
it was.
hating on Hypnotic.
I liked it. I was surprised that I would like it, and I was like,
Isn't that a drink?
the twists and turns.
It is a drink.
No.
Yeah, so that's what I'm watching. I'm waiting for the season finale of Equalizer because episode 18 ends on the cliffiest of hangers, and if it hasn't dropped, and I'm like, wait, are you taking a week off before you close it? Or are you trying to tell me, fuck you, you got to wait until next season? Because
You have to wait till next season.
Is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
Empire Strikes
fuck all
Back,
the way
baby.
off. That's some bullshit.
Empire Strikes Back, baby.
No, fuck that. That is some straight up bullshit. You don't do that shit. Fuck you, Queen. Fuck you, Queen.
Damn. Fuck the Queen.
Nah, when I tell you, listen, it's some bullshit. You go tie up everybody she loves in the middle of a ring of fire and make her watch.
Yes.
Fuck off. I'm not waiting a year for that bullshit. Fuck you, Paramount.
Damn.
Fuck
man.
you.
Nah, man. Look,
I watch Rabbit Hole.
I don't think it's a whole year. I think you got like what, 6 months. I think it comes back in the fall.
6 months.
I don't think it's.
They all gonna be burnt by then. Shit, you know you ain't killing every other goddamn character on the show except Queen Latifah.
Months.
That's some
Hockey season.
bullshit.
Nah.
Fuck off.
Damn.
Okay.
Damn. Okay. All right. I guess Mo's gone. I can't ask Mo what he's watching.
What are you watching? Did you say what you're watching?
Just really still for me, every opportunity I get, I'm catching up on anime. My Saturdays and Sundays is when I really get to watch some TV. I'm on my anime, whether it's One Piece, Demon Slayer, Hellgate. These are the shows that are out right now that are really, really popping. Been going back. I'm going back and watching Voltron. Just I was off for the last week. Unfortunately, I wasted I don't know how many hours of my life finishing The Flash, which was God, what am I doing? And even Titans. That was
Wow.
Jesus, man.
It was
Right.
so bad.
Titans was so bad.
That's your own goddamn fault.
It is.
I
No,
mean-
it is. It is. It's a sickness that I have.
Oh.
I actually have a sickness.
Yeah, you do.
Uh,
Yes.
And it is
I
damn.
don't feel sorry for you.
The need
I
to
have been done
complete
told
that.
y'all about Titans.
Oh, that was so bad.
The Flash
Oh,
is
so
because
bad.
my daughter is hooked on it, and the last season is
that last season
thrown
was-
in.
It's bad. It's really, really bad. It's goofy bad. It's the writers were already on strike, and we're dealing with the script that we already had that was half done bad. There's stuff that's happening that I'm like, why in God's name? So I did that. I did that.
They
over
just
a
bring
day.
it back. Anybody, you undead
Yeah.
right now. You
Yeah.
and you undead, and then we have a. I get it
I-
so bad.
You get a resurrection. You get a resurrection. Everybody gets a resurrection.
But it was to the point where now I understand when the CW says moving forward, that's it. Like they're not bringing back any of their superhero shows. Every single one of them is all gone, and they will not be on the new CW slate. And I'm like, good, because this is bad. This is bad.
Right.
And I can't tell you how bad that was. That was man.
Well, maybe
Well, it's-
Ezra Miller is going to play all of the characters in the final season of Titans. 'Cause
They might. They
he's
might.
the best thing in the DC. They are the best thing in the DC.
And the best thing, cracking for some reason, they said the director of Aquaman felt the need to come out and defend this new Aquaman film, saying like, no, the changes that are happening in the at DC, they shouldn't affect our film too much. But it's like your character is not going to be part of the new shit anyway. So who
Right.
cares? Who cares? None of that shit matters, and that's just a bad look. It's an all around bad look.
I guess Jason needs to just keep wearing silky palazzo pants
And curtsying and racing.
Yeah.
and braids
And you
and
know what the
barrettes.
tragedy,
yeah.
you know what the tragedy is of the CW real quick is that the last season of Black Lightning was actually really good.
It was. They went out on a
And-
high note.
And that's the only one
Yeah.
because the other ones, Supergirl was
Time Stone.
Liz.
We should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, we're at hour 30.
All right, look.
And Liz is in it. Liz gotta turn the dial on her internet to come back. So
That was high comedy. All right, look. In that case, then with no Anthony on deck, McBain, take us out, brother.
Get a fucking babysitter. And Gwen Stacy, fix your teeth.
Okay, this asshole, Dr. Liz.
hi, Mrs. McBain's mother, right, Miss
Get my
Ryan's
mom's name out your fucking mouth.
mom. And we apologize on the behalf of Ryan because he's acting a fool.
That's a long quote. I
It
never
is.
saw that in the movie.
I don't know
It's
that.
better
one.
than yours.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
where is my Monkey King suit? Fuck all the way
God.
off, China.
Excelsior.
Fuck them kids.
He said Excelsior.